There we go. Nice. We go now with Diego Mendoza. Says, hi Abe, I'm a 3D journalist and I've been doing 3D stuff for a while now, but I've been learning how to do it properly for 3 years now. Right now I have a journalist profile and I've been gearing my portfolio for modeling and lighting and composition. I would like to know if I should keep both of those areas. Yeah, you can totally keep those, and there's I would say a need for that. Nice. Okay. Interesting. Let's take a look. Okay, Diego, I understand what you're doing here. I understand. You got a model from someone, like a 3D printed model, and you try to do a composition. But I'm gonna call you out. And again, it's not you personally that I'm calling you out, it's the piece that I'm calling out, right? So if I see this, there's a couple of things that I notice. First of all, bad UVs. Look at the horrible UVs that we have right here. Right? Those breaks are all distorted. This one's as well here on the door frame. So if you're going to be doing a simple wall to do a little bit of composition, the bare minimum that you need to do is make sure your UVs are right, because believe me, people will notice that, okay? Second, the light doesn't match. Like the background is very light and then the character is very dark. And then on the background, we have a light coming from this direction, but on the character, we have a light coming from this direction. So there's a couple of like mismatches here going on with this particular piece, and I don't particularly like the direction. So what should you do? If you want to do cinematography stuff, look for cinematography. So if I look for cinematography, for instance, what's the word, like mafia, right? You're gonna see this kind of shots from The Godfather and things like that. Look at how they approach their the lighting of the characters, what kind of lights they're using, the directions of the light, the mood, the temperatures. Like, you need to really study what the master filmmakers have been doing for the past 100 years and incorporate that into your designs, because this one is not really like giving us that vibe that we want to go for. Now, another thing that you can do for this kind of exercises, Diego, is the exact same scene, but lit it, right? Or light it, or however you want to do it. Light is probably the proper verb. Light it in multiple different ways. You can do a sunny day, you can do an overcast day, you can do a night scene, you can do a very early morning scene, like the exact same scene, but show me how it would look with different lighting conditions. That's an exercise that I teach quite a bit in whenever I'm teaching rendering, and you need to be able to explore that kind of stuff, okay? Final render. If you're gonna be doing compositing, what are you using for compositing? Nuke. Okay, so you're like rebuilding a beauty pass. Okay, I'm not a compositor, so I'm not really sure. I'm not sure I can help you a lot there. This is really good. I love this. ODST was a great freaking game. Very cinematic, right? Like ODST. Yeah, good stuff on this one, man. Good job on this one. The Samus one, Varia Suite, high poly model. Nice. Do the full process. That would be another advice for this one. Do the full process. But if you're going to be focusing a little bit more on this sort of like composition stuff, that's fine. Now, be very careful with this, man. I've explained this before. Adding all of this like god rays and like particles and blooms and things like that, it can be a little bit too much, okay? It can be a little bit too much. So make sure you tone it down a little bit. Otherwise, it becomes, again, a little bit too much. Nice model here. How did you do the paint substance? Yeah, Mel. A little bit heavy on the topology. You can definitely simplify that a little bit more. Like those lines that you added right there, I'm not sure if that's like the wireframe being drawn on top of them. I think it is, right? It kind of felt like parts of the topology, but it's not. Yeah, it might be a little bit on the dense side on a couple of things. This is such a small detail, but I'm gonna again call you out here, because remember, we do this for everyone. We're all learning from this. You definitely want to always have the feet straight on the ground. Like if you send this to a rigger, they're gonna send it back. They're gonna be like, nope, your feet are not where they're supposed to be. The feet should be standing on the ground. That's why I'll always recommend having a ground plane when sculpting, for instance, in ZBrush, to make sure like the characters feel like they're actually like sitting on top. Because right now she feels like she's floating, right? And that's not what we want. Yeah, good pose, man. Some of these UVs look a little bit weird. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. I like the render. I really like what you did here with the render. Looks very colorful. But yeah, careful with this like intensity, and again, you really need to define, Diego, what you want to do. Do you want to be a modeler, which I can tell you you do have the skill to be a modeler. Some of this hard surface stuff is very cool. Or do you want to be a compositor? Because you usually don't do both. You usually don't do both. Let's see who won the giveaway. Ari, the first giveaway was won by our good friend Icarus. Icarus was the winner for the first giveaway. Second giveaway, still under, it's still going, so make sure to click on that thing.